Alrighty, Genshin F2Ps and Swipies, you're here for the trailer breakdown of the Overture trailer, The Final Feast. We've gone frame by frame for even the smallest details you might have missed. Before we get into the video, make sure you tease the subscribe button, and here we go. First, we get a shot of Neuvillette, who is now confirmed to be the younger brother to the magical twins of Lyney and Lynette, but more on them later. As per the drip marketing on Twitter, Neuvillette is a well-known diver, and his constellation called Automation seems to suggest that he's a very well-known mechanic. I don't believe him to be a robot, but there's a chance he could have made some modifications to himself, or that he's just a good old mechanic looking after his sister. Which leads us to our next stop. As the two magicians are performing their amazing stunt, we can see Lyney, known as the Black Cat, of the two doing all the talking, whereby Lynette is quite monotonous and expressionless. This, as well as her description of being a multifunction magic assistant, there are way too many hints or nods that she's actually a robot in disguise. But how does a barely drowning kid, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, relate? Well, this is where the House of Hearth comes in. Never heard of it? Well, neither have I until I researched it and found that it was mentioned all the way back in the chasm. You know, with the quest that we're looking for the Fatui partner, come to find out they were unfortunately lost in the goopy sauce. Yeah. Well, back to the House of Hearth. It is an orphanage that is ran in Snezhnaya, and many of the Fatui have seemed to find their origins going through their organization. The three siblings potentially could have been lost or abandoned children, invented the system that is the House of Hearth, and are now pawns to the scheme of Arlecchino. But that is yet to be confirmed. We next get to see the beautiful Navia, parasoling like Princess Peach, but she's also Taylor Swift. I'll let the internet have this one. But not only that, we get to see the potential courtyard of the Steambird, the worldwide known journalist hub where Charlotte works. Oh, and there she is, as she tosses one of the photos into the wind, which seems very not eco-friendly. We get a shot of our next two characters, Jshoea and Seguin, who is the most adorable. Much like a Diona is at Slane, Seguin is not of the human species, but of Melusine, basically bunny girls. By the looks of the drink, this could be a new farmable material that pops up that creates the centerpiece of that drink. As well, it seems the French like their tea? Coffee? It's caffeinated, surely. But let's enhance on the crest of Jshoea, and we can see a wolf-like creature on both his hands and his chest, but just different colors. This must be an indication that he is of a certain nobility, and that this is the house that he finds himself affiliated with, alongside his supposed job as a jailkeeper. Then we're shot all the way through this pipeline system into jail? Our next silhouette turns out to be the man himself, the geriatric general of the court. Give way for the Chief Justice of Fontaine, Neuvillette. But not too far behind is Fontaine's Clorn. She's already a cool cat that is not afraid to show us her electrovision, which is actually housed in a different crest than that of Lyney and Charlotte, which potentially is an indicator that the people of Fontaine even have a class system for vision users. Remember, there aren't too many vision users in the world of Teyvat as is, so it's quite interesting that they have two different crest forms here in Fontaine. As Clorn turns, she fires off her sheriff. Sorry, I play too much Valorant. Anyways, her gun could be an indication for skills in the future. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Hoyoverse is wanting to invest in a gunslinger or rifle class of characters, which is such a lost opportunity in my eyes. We break the glass and move to our next frame, which is back to Navia, and a better look at the courtyard that we saw earlier. Now, with this photo, we have a much clearer look at Navia's whole outfit. Not only that, we can actually see her vision connected at the bottom of the bow on her left arm, confirming that she is to be attuned to the Geo element. And we take a nice bow with the two magicians on a performance well done. But it isn't just any audience that is clapping for them. No. It's Arlecchino. She proceeds to say that their act is not enough, potentially referring to a job that requires them to perform a dangerous stunt, like straight out of Now You Can See Me, which is a goated show, by the way, and proceeds to do some magic of her own. But let's take a look at her hands, because they seem quite peculiar. And just for the record, I don't have a hand fetish. I have a foot. Arlecchino's hands don't just seem to be black gloves with nails, which would seem quite weird. The running theory is that those are her hands, and because of her practice of some dark arts, potentially dark witchcraft, she has been corrupted. Or they're just black gloves with long nails. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And we then take a clean panning shot around Arlecchino, but there seems to be a shadowy figure. When we count them out, 8 of them appear, seeming to represent the 8 remaining active Fatui Harbinger members, not including Arlecchino themselves. And when Arlecchino states that they need to be a good actor to mesmerize the whole crowd, for Arlecchino, they are an actor playing their part to an audience of the rest of the Harbingers, as they watch her take another vision from an unassuming Archon. And in our last scene, we get snapped into darkness, only for the scene to be lit up again by a small flame produced by a burning Polaroid. But it's blank, potentially indicating that it has yet to be developed, much like how the story in Fontaine has yet to be played out. We then cut to the Opera Epiclese, which is where the highest court in Fontaine is held and doubles as a beautiful theater. A lot of people have been quick to point this out, which I love how they created the parallelism. And boom, we get our first official glimpse of the Hydro Archon Focalor. Now, Focalor has been mentioned quite a bit in previous quests, but here we can see her in all her whimsical glory. And she's definitely not the serious type. But to match the beautiful blue gem in the shape of a dewdrop, both Focalors and Neuvillette have them, potentially just indicating that they are of the same affiliation, the higher legal court, or it could be an indication of their affinity to water, which, if that is the case, we see a little speck of red in Neuvillette's crest. Could it be foreshadowing the development of him using a delusion? And as we pan out, we get a glimpse of a huge scale, which is quite symbolic of the justice system, where the idea is that people should be weighed on the scales and given proper judgment, which goes all the way back to our old Egyptian days, but we'll go down that path another time. And that's it. You made it to the end. Did you learn something that you didn't know before? Let me know in the comments down below. Honestly, this video was amazing to make, and the first time I'm dipping my toes into creating lore content of any form. So your support means the world to me. Make sure to tease that little subby wubby button at the bottom of the video, and next time we'll do a more in-depth review of the characters and see where they could all fit into the story and potential banner order. Come the Fontaine updates. We'll see you in the next one. Josh out.